Okay, securities trading. Banks often get involved in trading, providing brokerage services and making a market in individual securities. So you understand trading, you understand brokerage services. What is making a market? Offering bid and ask. So market making is essentially buying if anyone is willing to sell and selling if anyone is willing to buy, being the counterparty for every transaction. Okay, so they have to mandatorily provide both bid and ask spreads. Bid is the rate at which they will buy and ask is the rate at which they will sell. Now while doing so, they compete with smaller securities that do not offer banking services. Correct. So I think best example is think of SMC Global as one small time broker in India versus the brokerage services offered by ICICI Direct. Now ICICI Direct is in a way a part of ICICI Bank. Are you following what I'm saying? So they get the benefit of already having the existing network of banking clients. Now Dodd-Frank in United States does not allow banks to engage in proprietary trading. Which rule? In some other countries, proprietary trading is allowed, but it is usually has to be organized so that losses do not affect depositors. A broker assists in executing the orders. I'm sure you know what a broker does. Some brokers operate nationally, whereas some serve only a particular region. This is a US specific discussion, mind you, US markets. Some are known as full service and some of them are execution only or discount brokers. So this you should write down. Full service broker versus discount broker. Full service broker versus a discount broker. Full service broker versus a discount broker. Then full service broker, make an arrow and say provides research services. Full service broker, make an arrow and say provides research services. Discount broker, make an arrow and say low cost execution only broker. Low cost execution only broker. Low cost execution only broker. So think of JM Financials as a broker and think of Zerodha as the second broker. So, and you are not the client is an institutional client. Imagine you are a fund manager of a mutual fund. Let's say you are a fund manager of Birla Sun Life. It's a mutual fund. Now you want to buy stocks worth 50 crores. 50 crores is how many millions? 500 million rupees on a single day. Now you need help of a broker. So then what is your expectation from the broker? Do you want him to provide you the research which you can use for your own decision making purpose, or do you want him only to provide the execution service? So if you want him to provide research as well as execution, then he's a full service broker. But if you want him to provide only the execution, then it is a discount broker. And then of course there would be differences in the cost. Is that okay? Some offer online services and some do not. So I'm skipping through this. Okay. Now many exchanges use market makers. So market makers are the ones which provide liquidity in the system. Typically an exchange will specify maximum level of size of bid and offer spread. So you do not want market maker to be buying too cheap and selling too high. Correct? For example, a market maker buying at 40 and selling at 55. And assuming he's the only market maker, then he's in a kind of a monopoly situation. So what exchanges will do is they will set a rule that bid and ask spread should not be, let's say, 2.5% higher than the bid price. Okay, so then in that case, this should be how much? There are different types of markets. See, its question is exchanges use market maker, then what does clearinghouse do? So there are different types of markets. There is a code driven market, there is a order driven market, there is a brokered market. You would find market makers operating in a code driven environment. Code driven example is London Stock Exchange. So then what exchanges will do is they will recruit market makers for particular security. So typically for one security they will recruit 5-6 market makers. Each of the market maker will have their own inventory, and then what the software or the system will do is it will collect the best bid and best ask of each of the market maker, and then it will just display the best bid and best ask. So it's like a competition within the market makers. Okay, clearinghouse is required on the derivative side of the trade. What clearinghouse does is that once the transaction is initiated, even if the market maker is the other side, clearinghouse will split. So buyer to clearinghouse, clearinghouse to market maker. That's how transactions work. So in India also, when options were originally introduced, we did use services of market makers in India because there was no liquidity on those products. Should we go ahead? Banks have in the past been market makers for instruments such as forwards, swaps, and all the other OTC products. The trading and market making these type of instruments is now being carried out on electronic platform which are called SEFs in US and organized trading facilities in Europe. So have we discussed about ATS, alternative trading systems? Yeah, I downloaded this in 2014, but you can download them easily. So these are alternative trading systems. Alternative trading system is like an exchange created by banks for themselves, because you can imagine banks themselves have so many clients, correct, and they would want to buy and sell. So banks provide these type of services. So if you would observe, we have Barclays and we have Morgan Stanley, and most of the big banks having their own, JP Morgan, all of them having their own alternative trading systems. So that's what it says here. So banks now make use of electronic platforms, and they are called SEF and OTF in US and Europe respectively.